بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
المعصومين المكرمين. Our discussion in the previous session was about the interpretation of Quran, but not as a vast field of Quran. Just about a particular keywords that if we find these keywords from Quran and join them together, we can have a vast vision on all the ayat of Quran. We can find in which context are these ayat, what is our position there, and how can we think about it, how can we use it, how can we make it practical in our life. And I told you before that the first thing that is very important and we should work on it, the first issue and the subject that we can and we must work on it to understand the meanings of other ayat and to have a good comprehension and the correct comprehension of the ayat is the subject of human and the position of human in Quran. And as you know, we have many riwayats that these riwayats tell us if you can find yourself, you can find Allah Ta'ala. If you can find your position in this world, you can find Allah Ta'ala. Because of this, we want to talk about the position of insan or human in Quran. And the first question that we must ask from ourselves is this question, that who am I? Because this is the first question and the last question. If we can answer this question, that who am I, in a good way, it means that we know ourselves. And if we can know ourselves, we can know the others. And we can know Allah Ta'ala, we can know the world, not this world, the other world, and the universe, our environment, all the things. So, if I ask you that who you are, what do you say if they want to reply to me, answer? I say, who you are. Or who are you? Yeah. Who are you?
Human being.
And if you want, yeah, you are insan, I know. It's insan. But it has a definition. You know, I want to describe yourself. If you want to describe yourself to someone who asks you, who are you?
Just a creature of Allah.
The creature of Allah. It's the another one.
You're one of the creatures of Allah, maybe the superior, the most superior. Ashraful Makhluq.
Very good. So Ashraful Makhluqat, or the most superior creature of Allah. Anything else? If you say that I am the most superior creature of Allah, it shows all aspects of you.
Maybe Abdullah.
Abdullah. And what's the meaning of Abdullah?
Means we are the manifestation of Allah.
Manifestation of Allah. The second. So it is another aspect, or that aspect in another word.
Yes. Another aspect of
Another
seeing ourselves.
aspect, yeah. So the greatest and the most superior creature of Allah, and the second one, the manifestation of Allah. And you know, It is a very simple question, but if we want to answer it,
So difficult.
it is so difficult to say, who am I?
Nothing.
Perhaps we can say nothing, perhaps we can say all the thing, everything, something. You know, the answers are different. Because of it, it is very important. How can we find the answer of this question? By what?
From Quran.
From Quran, we can find the answer. And can we find the answer from our inner voice? I mean, inner layers of our heart. Can we find the answer or not? Or can we find the answer by our intellect? By our wisdom?
I think Quran maybe gives us as particular creature a identity. But if we just like start asking ourselves, who are we? We might not actually be able to sort of identify ourselves properly. We might have a lot of thoughts, but Quran maybe gives us an identity.
Yeah.
That
And another way, just go on. If we think about ourselves, can we find ourselves or not?
thing, yeah.
So how?
If we think of ourselves, we look at others and we compare ourselves with others, other creatures, to find ourselves.
Yeah, very good. It's a good way. So let's turn back to Quran. What is the answer of Quran to this question? So, at first, the first definition of insan, the first thing that we can, if we want to answer this question and if we can describe ourselves, perhaps the first is this. I am the Khalif. A creature with successive authority of Allah in the earth. Salam. So we try to answer this question. Who am I? A very simple question with a very difficult answer. How can we answer this question, that who am I? And there are some ways that I can answer this question. It is very, very important. Who am I means I want to find myself. And if I can myself, I can find the others. I can think about this universe, about Allah Ta'ala, about my environment, about all the things. But if I have the key to open this box, and what is the key? I say that the key is Quran. And if we refer to Quran, we can find the answer of this question, that who am I? And after that, if I find myself through Quran, I can have the authority to find the meaning of all the ayat of Quran. You know, so the first thing is this. I am the Khalifa or Khalif, a creature with successive authority of Allah in the earth or on the earth. So I am Khalifa. And what is the verse in Quran that show me that I am Khalifa? Surah Baqarah. And can you tell me what is this ayah about? Not exactly the ayah, but tell me something about it.
Allah talks to the angels and says that I will create Khalifa on earth.
Yeah. So this is the discussion between Allah Ta'ala and the angels. And Allah Ta'ala wanted to create someone on the earth that he or she can be Khalif, or the creator with successive authority, that has the authority on the earth. So this is one of the definition of insan. So insan has the authority. And it is not a low position. Very, very high position for insan. You cannot find for other creatures of Allah that it, for example, has successive authority. Even the very greatest creatures of Allah Ta'ala doesn't have this definition. So look at this ayah. So this is Surah Al-Baqarah, and the verse is 3. Can I? Okay, so let me do it. This ayah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك قال أني أعلم ما لا تعلمون. Can the others translation of it? Can you all push it really?
And mention, O Muhammad, when your Lord said to the angels, indeed, I will make upon the earth a successive authority. They said, will you place upon it one who causes corruption therein and sheds blood, while we declare your praise and sanctify you? Allah said, indeed, I know that which you do not know.
So, what is the keyword here? Because we wanted to collect the keywords of Quran. What is the keyword?
Successive authority.
Successive authority. I will make. So we are something that Allah Ta'ala made us. I will make upon the earth a successive authority. So it is not something that we want. This is something that Allah Ta'ala wants. Allah Ta'ala made us before. For what? For being upon the earth a successive authority as Khalif. And the second one. This one. Al-An'am. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وهو الذي جعلكم خلائف الأرض ورفع بعضكم فوق بعض درجات ليبلغكم فيما آتاكم إن ربك سريع الحساب وإنه لغفور رحيم. Would you please read the translation?
And it is he who has made you successors upon the earth and has raised a few above others in degree of rank, that he may try you through what he has given you. Indeed, your Lord is swift in penalty, but indeed he is forgiving and merciful.
So, and the keyword here? The keyword?
Successor.
Made you successors.
Made you successors. You know, so we have here again in Surah Al-An'am that you are the successors upon the earth. And Allah Ta'ala made you as the successors. So these are two keywords. So number one, we are the successors. We have the authority on the earth. On the earth. So, another one. The intellectual capacity of me is the greatest capacity that a creator can have. So we should pay attention to our capacity, intellectual capacity. You know, there are many creatures. Look at the tiny creatures like an ant to the very giant creatures of Allah Ta'ala. And do these creatures have the intellectual capacity? Some of them yes, perhaps. Some of them no. But I have the greatest capacity. The greatest capacity. And what is the verse of Quran? Who can say? That shows us that we have a greatest intellectual capacity. Even more than the angels. This is the hint.
This is again on Surah Al-Baqarah.
Yeah, and?
It says that I know that you do not know.
Yeah, very good. Again, this is a discussion between Allah Ta'ala and the angels. And they asked Allah Ta'ala, why do you want to create someone who can shed the blood on the earth or make some corruptions on the earth? And Allah Ta'ala told them that I know something that you do not know. What is the thing that Allah Ta'ala knew at that time, but Malaika or the angels didn't know anything about it? Asma, the names. And Allah Ta'ala said that I taught Adam the Asma. So who was our teacher? Who? Allah Ta'ala. And we are the students of Allah Ta'ala. Because of this teacher we have this capacity. Teacher is very important. If your teacher doesn't have enough capacity, you can gain this capacity. And what is the capacity of Allah Ta'ala? Unlimited. So He was our teacher. So we have this capacity. Our capacity is, the root of our capacity is Allah Ta'ala. So it shows us in this ayah. Would you please read this ayah, Abu Salah? Can you?
وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين قالوا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم قال يا آدم أنبئهم بأسمائهم فلما أنبأهم بأسمائهم قال ألم أقل لكم إني أعلم غيب السماوات والأرض وأعلم ما تبدون وما كنتم تكتمون.
And would you please translate it?
And he taught Adam the names all of them. Then he showed them to the angels and said, inform me of the names of these if you are truthful.
Yeah. So what is the keyword here?
All the names.
He taught.
All the names. So this is one. And the second?
He taught.
Yeah. He taught Adam. So who was the teacher? Allah. Who was the student? Adam. And what was that ilm? Asma. We do not know what is this asma. But just we know that this asma means something that contains all the ulum of the universe. All the ulum. So we have the capacity to know all the knowledges. Is it the greatest capacity or not? So this is our position. Our teacher is Allah, we are the student, and we have this capacity. Perhaps I can be a student in a class in the university. But what is my grade? It is important that in this school of Allah Ta'ala, the grade of Adam is very, very high, the highest grade. Because in this school we have three kinds of students. The first one is jinn, shaitan. The second one, angels. The third one, insan. Who is the greatest student here? Insan, So it is very important that insan showed himself to Malaika at that time that I am the greatest student of Allah Ta'ala. So this is the second one. And another one? I have a God believer nature. And I have the consciousness about my God in the deepest layer of my heart. So I have these two. Number one, in my nature, I have an essence in myself, a nature, that this nature is God-believing. You know what's the meaning of kafir? Kafir means someone who covered this layer of his or her heart. This is the meaning of kufr. Kufr means cover something. It means that all people, even that kafir, has this capacity, has this, nature. I have a God believer nature, and I have the consciousness about my God, but I do not know, because I cover it in the deepest layer, not just in the surface of our heart. If we look at the surface of our heart, we cannot find anything. But if you go to the deepest layer of our heart, so when can we go to this deepest layer of our heart? When? You can say. Sorry?
Is finding the ulum of those asma.
Yes, at that time. And no, without knowledge. For example, I want to go through my heart and find God. How and when?
Use your intellect.
Sorry?
Use your intellect.
Yeah, it is one way. Another way?
We shake our consciousness.
How can we shake our consciousness?
But
It is good. How can I shake it?
Maybe when we go through some testing.
Testing, yeah. And which kind of test? You are very near to it.
Somewhere where it is, I guess, a test which sort of like tells us like, do we actually believe in God?
Yeah, so what sort of test? Can say?
It's about our faith.
Yeah, I know. What is sort of this test? Can you say? When can we go to the deepest layer?
at the time of hardships,
Very good. So at the time of hardships, when we get in trouble, when we have problem, we can find. And in Quran we have a verse that says, or even the kuffar, when they stuck in trouble, when they go to the ocean, and in the middle of the ocean there is a very bad storm, and they feel that they will die. Then they will go to the, deepest layer of their heart at that time. So, have you ever had this test in your life or no?
Family.
Your family.
This 40 young boys who came to Winter was wanted to go to Australia.
Uh-huh.
Their ship broke down in the
Yeah.
middle of the sea.
Yeah.
And whenever I read this verse, I remember how they explain that we kept so much,
Yeah.
praying so much,
Yeah.
that when we will say we will do this or that. And
So they can feel. They can feel because they were in this trouble. And perhaps during our life, perhaps we have this test. If we have this test, it is good for us. And because of this, Allah Ta'ala says something that you like, but it is not good for you. Something that you dislike, but it is good for you. These are the tests. That you dislike, but it is good for you, because these are the tests. You can go to the deepest layer of your heart. And the second place that you can go to the deepest layer of your heart in the middle of the night, when you are alone. There is no one here. And you want to talk to yourself about yourself. And it is namaz shab, salat al-layl, a kind of this. These tests. And another one, thinking in the middle of the night when you are alone. No one wants to talk to you. No one wants to disturb you. Your mobile will not ring. Okay? You are alone. And then you think about yourself. So, it is very important. And what is the ayah of Quran? I am a God believer nature. I have a God believer nature, and I have the consciousness about my God.
Sorry, can I interrupt?
Okay.
اینجا الان نماز شما نمید و نماز شما دعوت نداره برای این وقته؟
من کلاس داشتم ولی برای نماز میام.
چون الان پرسیدم که آقای برونی نمیده من دیدم دیدم.
آره من کلاس دارم، شرمندم ولی نمازو میام. 10 دقیقه به نماز میام خوبه؟ 10 دقیقه
نفرم که آره شام
باش. Okay, so look at this. Who is this ayah? Who? Can you please? If you like.
Sorry.
Yeah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ أخذ ربك من بني آدم من ظهورهم ذريتهم وأشهدهم على أنفسهم ألست بربكم قالوا بلى شهدنا أن تقولوا يوم القيامة إنا كنا عن هذا غافلين صدق الله العظيم.
And the translation? Can you translate the translation? No?
And mention when Dwallo took from the children of Adam, from their loins, their descendants, and made them testify of themselves, saying to them, am I not your? They said, yes, we have testified. This thing should say on the day of reception, indeed we were of this.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Yeah, so what is the key word here? I want to know that I have this consciousness about my Lord, about my God. Testify. And another one.
Your Lord took from the children of Adam. If you took away something,
Mm-hmm.
the line, the descendants,
Yeah,
and testify.
yeah. Testify is the key word. Yeah, so, and mention when your Lord took from the children of Adam, from their loins, their descendants, and made them testify. So Allah Ta'ala made us testify. You know, again, this is the role of Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala created us in the first ayah. Allah Ta'ala taught us. Allah Ta'ala made us testify of ourselves. You know, all of them are the rules of Allah Ta'ala. These are not the rules of me. These are the plan of Allah Ta'ala for me. He was the creator. He was the teacher, and He made me testify, saying to them, am I not your Lord? This is the question. Am I not your Lord? They say yes. So this is the test. Why we say at that time we said yes? Why? Because at that time we were aware about of Allah Ta'ala. We had the conscious about Allah Ta'ala. Consciousness. So this is the third. And another one. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وأقم وجهك للدين القيم من قبل أن يأتي يوم لا مرد له من الله يومئذ يصدعون صدق الله العلي العظيم. So direct your face toward the correct religion before a day comes from Allah, of which there is no repelling. That day they will be deviated. So what is the keyword here? Your face. Direct, yeah.
Toward the correct religion.
Yeah. Direct your face toward the correct religion. Correct religion. In this ayah, Allah Ta'ala does not say that Islam, for example, or Christianity, or Jews. It says correct religion. What is this correct religion? It means that in every heart of people there is a religion, that it is correct. You know? Yeah, and they should be direct their face toward this religion. So, if they do not have the religion, how can they direct their face toward them? you know, it means that we must know this religion, and after that we can direct our face toward this religion. So it shows us that there is something in our heart, but we do not know. We cover it. Clear? So another one. In addition to the material sense that exists in me and in animals and plants, there is a heavenly sense in the nature of me. I am a mixture of natural and supernatural, material and spiritual essences. I am body and the soul. Body and the soul. So it is another thing that I share something with other creatures of Allah Ta'ala, with animals, with plants, but in this part, I am separate of them, totally a part of them. Heavenly essence in the nature of me. So, an animal doesn't have the heavenly essence, or plant doesn't have heavenly essence. Body and something. You know, but I have the body and the soul. And this soul is a special soul. You know, animals have soul. Plants have soul. But my soul is special. It is something else. So look at this ayah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم الذي أحسن كل شيء خلقه وبدأ خلق الإنسان من طين ثم جعل نسله من سلالة من ماء مهين ثم سواه ونفخ فيه من روحه وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة قليلا ما تشكرون صدق الله العلي العظيم. So, also, would you please read the translation?
Who perfected everything which he created and began the creation of man from clay. Then he made his posterity out of the extract of a liquid, his dying. Then he proportioned him and breathed into him from his created soul, and made from you hearing and vision and hearts. Little are you grateful.
So, what is the keyword here? We must, in this ayah, we must find two things. Material and moral, or natural, supernatural. So, what are the material things and natural? Very good. So,
From clay.
which he created and began the creation of man. Began the creation with material. Clay. Another one.
And breathed into him from his
Then make his
soul.
prosperity out of the extract of
Liquid.
liquid.
His
Liquid is name. So this is material again. Another one. Then he proportioned him and breathed into him from his soul. So this is important. This is the key word here. That we have, but animals do not have. Plants do not have. And made for you hearing, material and spiritual. Both of them. Our hearing can be material or natural, supernatural. And vision, natural, supernatural. And hearts, natural, supernatural. Okay, so this is another one. And again, another one. 5. The creation of me is not coincidentally, but I was elected and chosen by God. Very important. Allah Ta'ala has chosen me. Not I choose Allah Ta'ala as God. Allah Ta'ala has elected me as His creator. Sometimes we think that we choose this God as God. You know, it's vice versa. I say, okay, we pray for you, we worship for you. But he says, no. Number one, it is not coincidentally. Allah Ta'ala had planned. Okay? And the second one, I was elected and chosen by God. not God has chosen by me. Vice versa. Look at this. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ثم اجتباه ربه فتاب عليه وهدى صدق الله العلي العظيم. Then his Lord chose him and turned to him in forgiveness and guided him. Again, teacher here. Again, we have creator here, teacher here, guide here, someone who has elected us. It is important. So look at this position. We do not have a low position here. And another one. 6. I have a free and independent personality. I have the responsibility, very important, and I have been asked for making the earth habitable and choosing one of the two ways, sa'adat, success, or shagawat, fail. By what? By my free will. So I have free will. Because there is a difference between some religions and Islam. Allah Ta'ala created us. Allah Ta'ala was the teacher. Allah Ta'ala was the guide. Allah Ta'ala has elected and chosen us. But I have free will. It is important. This is not obligatory. I can choose. This is like the university. You finish the lessons in this university, your terms, and then Allah says, okay, go. Because I created you, I taught you the asma, this is your capacity, you are in good grade, now go and find a job. And if you cannot find a job, it is your fault. It is not Allah Ta'ala's fault, but sometimes we complain. Say, oh Allah Ta'ala, what is this destiny? And what do you want to do to me? Nothing. Allah Ta'ala will not do anything to you. You make your destiny, not Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala is just your teacher. Because you have free will. Look at this. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا صدق الله العلي العظيم. Indeed we offered the trust of the heavens and the earth and the mountains, and they declined to bear it and feared it, but man undertook it, bear it. Indeed, he was unjust and ignorant. Keyboard. Mountain?
Could not change.
Okay. And no, it is not a keyboard. Declined. No.
We offered.
Sir? Trust. There is trust here. We offer the trust.
Ignorant.
Ignorant. So look at this again. I have the free will. And look at this.
They declined to bear it.
They decline to bear it. So it is about the mountains. But I want to find something about myself. You know, the core is human.
Bear it.
Bear it. So here. But man undertook it. So how? How man could undertook this trust of Allah Ta'ala? How? It means that at the first of the day of creation, we had the wisdom. Without at that time. And then, yeah, and then, when without, because Allah Ta'ala says, okay, this is my trust, my amanat. And you are the mountains, here you are. You are the oceans, here you are. You are the human. Here you are. Who accepted? Human. So how? With free will. It shows us that at the first of the day of creation, we had the free will. Because, and all of them, they declined to bear it and feared it. But man undertook to bear it. It means that we had the free will. So, Abbas Aga, who makes our destiny? Yeah. Who? Our destiny. Who?
Ourselves.
Ourselves. So why? Because we have free will. You know, because we have free will, we can make our future. We can make our family. We can make our job. We can, have some progress in our life, you know. So, because we have free will. And another one. This one. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه سميعا بصيرا إنا هديناه السبيل إما شاكرا وإما كفورا صدق الله العلي العظيم. Can you please read the translation?
Yeah. Indeed, we created man from a sperm drop mixture that we may try him, and we made him hearing and seeing. Indeed, we guided him to the way. Be he grateful or be he ungrateful.
And what is the keyword here?
Be he grateful.
Try him. We may try him.
We may try him.
Yeah. We guided him.
Be he grateful or be he ungrateful.
Be he grateful or be he ungrateful? Yes or no? The keyword.
Created man.
Yeah, we want to know that does this insan have capacity to find a way or not? If we have free will, we can find a way. We can be in this way or in that way. So as Abu Saba said, we guided him to the way. Be he grateful or be he ungrateful. It is up to you. Be he grateful or be he ungrateful. So we have free will to be grateful or ungrateful. And another one that we have, if we have time, so it's 6. These are 12 positions of insan, and just we come to 6 of it. So, can you tell me what were these 6? We are successors, Khalifa. And the second, we have free will. Another one.
Intellect. Highest level of
Yeah, very good. We have the highest level of intellect.
Tested.
What?
Tested.
We will be tested.
We test it. We have it here. We have a mixture of material and moral.
Liquid and soul.
Yeah, and
They are not created coincidentally.
yeah, our creation wasn't coincidentally, and
We have the free will. We have.
yes, and yeah. So let's just do very fast review of it. Number 1, we are the Khali, and number 2, we have the intellectual capacity of the greatest capacity. Number 3, we are God believer in our heart, has a nature, God believer nature. Number 4, we are the mixture of this and that. Number 5, our creation is not coincidentally, and we were elected. And chosen by God. And number 6, we have the free will, and we can find the Sa'ada and Shagala. So we have 6 here. And for the next session, if you like, as these 6 positions, you can write something just in 5 lines. You can, for example, choose one of them and just write 5 lines about this position, that I have a free will because of this. Or, for example, I have the capacity, so, like this. Or you can give us the story, example, you can read something, everything that you want, just 5 lines. Okay? So, Sallu ala Muhammad wa
Allah.
محمد وآل